Okay, welcome to the podcast, week number 9 of the Fantasy Football League, known as Trashmouth Fantasy Football League. We have a unique podcast this evening. We have the Bengali Bombers. Welcome aboard.
Thanks, Dave. It's good to be on board, and Happy New Year to all my Indian friends out there and fans of the Bombers. Happy Diwali and a Happy New Year.
Well, you're very welcome. And this is a different podcast this week. The Bengali Bombers actually invited the Gridiron Grudge match, so there won't be no normal questionnaires. This is going to be a different podcast. And as you can see, we have 3 Western Division logos. And guess what I was instructed to do?
Well, let me elaborate on that there, Dave. So, as people have seen and heard, Cam Newton, 8-0, took down a Green Bay Packer banner that was there at the stadium. I mean, come on. Seriously, come on, man. So, what the Bombers decided to do is, since this is week 9, and I think I have won the division already, which must be some sort of a record. I don't know. So what I decided to do is dress down the other 3 GMs in the Western Division. So if you would, please, take the Bomber logos and please take down those 3 other division GMs logos.
Okay.
Won the division.
First one we'll have take down is the Grim Reapers.
Yeah, pretty sad story there. Quarterback doesn't score. I don't know what that rookie's doing, but let's move on from that.
All right, the next one is Team Psychos.
Oh boy, I think he's hiking himself out with all the moves that he's made and trying to get back into it. But again, they're not. I mean, seriously, let's move on.
The next and last GM is the G-Men.
Oh, the G-Men. That's right. That's right. The paper tigers are roaring now, G-Men. As I, said the Bombers were lucky. Check the total points, buddy. See where the Bombers land.
All right.
Attacking all over the place. And I'll get into it a little bit, but this week against Sal, it was over before it started. So let's take that one down too, Dave. And then do me a favor, put the Bombers logo right in the middle there, please.
Oh, yes, sir. I just did it as instructed. There you go. The Bombers logo is now in place.
Thank you.
So, Bombers, you did set a record, 2 records actually this past weekend. You're the first GM ever to score, I believe you scored 53 points in 1 hour from 1 p.m. to 2. Is that correct?
That's correct. It was like back in the those screens, and I'm like, wait a second. Bombers dropped another bomb there. Ooh, they scored another there. Hey, that's another score. It was ridiculous. In 59 minutes, I think I scored 59 points. 6 of those points being on the bench with LeGarrette Blount, of course. But, hey, 53 points that count in 59 minutes, that has to be a record.
Oh, that is. And also, you became the first Western Division GM to win your division in 9 games.
Yeah, it's actually, I just feel awesome from if you think that, right? I mean, you got with one of those founding fathers, right, advising him, and I don't know what they're doing over there. They're cooking something in the basement that doesn't smell right, and I think they're just going to be like in the mud in the basement forever. If he keeps going forward, and something's got to change there. And then Psychos and Grim Reapers, because so maybe you can cut up some slack. But
yeah, you break your.
Basement. Out there.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, Bombers. There, you're breaking up on a cell phone. Repeat that again, please.
I think we're having a party in the basement there with the G-Men, with Doug advising G-Men, and then Grim Reapers. Yeah, he's a rookie who gets a little bit of a pass. It must be really rocking.
Oh, there you go. The Bombers just calling everybody out in the West. You're running away. You ran away with the division in impressive fashion. You have your best start ever at 8-1. You're number 2 in total points. You have a very balanced attack. So, do you have any questions for the grudge match? I'm sitting here waiting. I mean, this is your show.
Yeah, I figured I'd invite the grudge match to this little podcast because they were instrumental in helping me clinch this division in week 9. So grudge match. A question for you: your thoughts on your opponent this past week, and the fight that was put up, or maybe not. But your thoughts on your opponent and how you pull this thing off in week 9?
Yeah, G-Man put up a good fight. He scored 68 points. But the problem is just that there's some holes on his team. His running backs are average, other than D'Angelo Williams. For G-Man, he had a chance to get Devontae Freeman. I don't know what happened there early in the season. But he's had some close losses this year, about 8 points, 1 point, 3 points, 4-point losses. And you got to win your close games. And, he had a musical chairs with his roster moves. He had 5 roster moves. He realistically had really 2 roster moves because he didn't really do very well with research on his other moves. But the thing is, I'm moving forward. I won by 8. I don't care if I won by 8 or if I won by 1. It's still a win. I scored 76 points. I'm in the driver's seat to go into the playoffs, and G-Men and everybody else is in my rearview mirror as I slowly pull away.
Yeah, I know that you had a frustrating start there at the beginning of the season there, Gridiron, but you've made a nice comeback, and maybe you're writing your own story, right? So, your thoughts, Gridiron, and this is the final question for you, on your next opponent in week 10. Your thoughts?
This is going to be a tough challenge, but you know what? There's no shortcuts in winning. You have to beat the best to be the best. And right now, the Bombers are the best team in the league. They've won 5 in a row. He has a deep team, very powerful team. And I'm looking forward to the challenge. Tmffl and I have had some classic playoff matches in the past. But this team might be one of his best teams ever. It probably is. It ranks up there with his 2000 team. I'll have to do some research to find that out. But it's gonna be tough. There's no way around it. Tmffl is the team to beat in 2015, and I'm gonna have to have all my players step up to beat this guy.
Yeah, I think, I'm speaking as a Bomber now, of course, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup. You're gonna get my best shot, so hope you're ready, and let's have the best team win. But I'm going for 9. I'm gonna keep going. I want to go 12-1 and coast into the playoffs.
It's funny you say that, Bombers. Nobody in the history of the league has ever had a record of 12-1. No GM has ever done it. A couple of GMs have been 11-2. No one has been 12-1 in this league, and you have a chance to do that. And it's
every team from now on is going to keep getting my best shot. So hope they bring their best as well. I think we reversed this a little bit, Dave. Usually we go shots later on, but let me talk about the East a little bit too. I think I got a text from Sal about 1:30 p.m. Saying that he went to the bathroom up 30-8, and he came back and he was down 38-30. So by the time that it was all over, within the next half hour, again by 2 p.m., it was 53-30. So by that time, Sal just surrendered his white flag and called it the game. So it was an explosion like no other, I think, and Sal was even amazed by that. I think Widowmaker, I played him once, so we'll move on from there. But, even the East Division, I got a good challenge this week coming up. We're going to put up a fight, and let's go Bombers. But, yeah, any questions about the week there? Other questions, Dave?
No, I just think that you've covered everything, Bombers. You've covered the entire division. You've stated your claim. I hope the food and beverages in the podcast waiting room was satisfactory to your needs, since this is your first trip to the podcast show.
Yeah, it's always good to be on the podcast because that's where you get to talk some trash, and this is what the league's all about. So, I heard from Matt. Matt called me to congratulate me, which was classy. Today I got a call from him, the G-Man, to congratulate me on winning the division, and that was really classy. But his advisor has been hiding this week. All the trash talk last week, nothing, not a word from Mr. Doug there. I don't know what's going on, so maybe he's hiding in the basement along with the other 3 GMs.
Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, so it's gonna be good to going the next couple of weeks. 4 weeks left, and we'll see what happens. All right, Bengali Bombers, thank you for allowing the Gridiron Grudge Match to join you on the week number 9 podcast. And Tmffl, can you just remind everybody in the studio audience, what is the requirement to get on the podcast?
Well, if you win the week, that's number 1. And 2, you have to win the week by the most points scored by any team in the league. Those are the 2 things that must be checked off before you can get on the podcast.
That is true. And Tmffl, since you're setting records on week 9, you set 2 records. You also set a podcast record. We are now on our 11th minute of a podcast, which is an all-time record for the most time allotted to a GM.
Well, I had to get a lot of things off because, like you said, this is my first podcast of the year, and this just had to be let out. So thanks for giving me that extra time. I appreciate it.
Of course, Bengali Bombers, you're always appreciated with your efforts in the league and your passion, and we look forward to seeing you in weeks to come. Thank you very much.